Welcome to Valuechain News. I am Naomi Olewibe. First, the headlines. President Buhari calls for transparency and accountability from the new NNPC board. Pengassin supports Wike's plan to stamp out illegal oil bunkering. OPEC Secretary General visits the historic Al-Shahab Hall in Baghdad. Now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari today in Abuja urged the new board of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company (NNPC) Limited to ensure strict compliance with corporate governance principles that place a premium on doing business with the highest ethical standards, integrity and transparency. According to a statement issued by Femi Adesina, who is the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Buhari put forward the charge at the State House in Abuja while inaugurating the board, which is chaired by Margaret Okadibo, the widow of the president's former political associate. The president, who charged them to focus on profitability and operate at par with industry peers across the world, said, "I expect the NNPC to be mindful of our commitment to our net carbon zero aspirations and to ensure total alignment with the global energy transition's realities." It could be recalled that on Wednesday, 5th January 2021, Buhari inaugurated Margaret Okadibo as chairman, Mele Kyari as chief executive officer, and Umar Ajiya as Chief Financial Officer of NNPC. The rest of the board members include Dr. Tajuddin Umar, Northeast, Mrs. Lami Ahmed, North Central, Mohammed Lawa, Northwest, Henry Obi, Southeast, Constance Marshall, South-South, Pius Akinlure, Southwest, Dr. Nasiru Gwazo as Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, and Aliyu Ahmed as Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria has charged members of the public to join hands with the Rivers State government to stamp out artisanal refining and illegal oil bunkering activities causing suits in the state. This is as Governor Nyesom Wike has directed local government chairmen to stamp out perpetrators and activities of illegal oil bunkering and illegal refineries in their localities. Speaking, Pengassin Chairman Port Harcourt Zone, Comrade Peter Onita, called for the establishment of modular refineries to create employment opportunities for the youth. Onita explained that stamping out illegal artisanal refining of petroleum products will end suits in the state. He said the Senior Oil Workers Association were concerned about the suit menace because of its implication on human health. "We are concerned because of the implication of suit, and that is why in the last 3 years, Pengassin in Port Harcourt Zone has been consistent in calling on the authorities to do what is right. For us, we believe that the government at all levels should be able to put in place modalities for the employment of youths causing this menace across the state. If the right thing is done, River State and its inhabitants will be able to breathe a fresh air, and we hope that the security agencies and the local government chairmen will live up to expectations." The federal government on Thursday said it was putting measures in place to ensure further reduction in the cost of liquefied petroleum gas, popularly called cooking gas. It disclosed this while reacting to the recent marginal drop in the cost of cooking gas. According to findings, the price of the 12.5 kg LPG has dropped from 8,800 naira to between 8,400 naira and 8,200 naira. In some outlets, the price of the commodity dropped to between 7,800 naira and 8,000 as of Thursday. In November, sources reported that the cost of LPG kept rising in 2021, jumping by more than 240% between January and October 2021. The development forced some LPG users to shift to charcoal or firewood as consumers of the commodity raised the alarm over the persistent hike in its price. It is in the government's interest for the price to go down consistently, and there are certain initiatives that are being taken at the moment which hopefully will see further drop in price regardless of the international costs. The program manager, National LPG Expansion Implementation Plan, Office of the Vice President, Dayo Adesina, stated. Kenya's new oil terminal will save demurrage costs of up to 16 billion shillings annually, State House has said, enough to pay annual interest on the SGR loan. This as the country moves to become the biggest petroleum product handler in the region. President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday supervised works at the 40 billion shillings facility at the port of Mombasa, which is 96% complete. According to Kenya Ports Authority, the new Kipevu oil terminal is expected to be ready and tested for operations by the end of March 2022. The project, which began in February 2019 with a completion date of August last year, was slightly slowed down by the COVID-19 pandemic. The annual savings of demurrage is approximately what Kenya will pay this year to the Exim Bank of China in interest payments for the 324 billion shillings SGR loan. Kenya can save SGR interest loan payments every year with 16 billion shillings Kenya will save in demurrage costs, the Presidential Strategic Communication Unit said in a statement. The new terminal has 4 berths capable of handling 6 different hydrocarbon import and export products. It is a 770-meter long offshore facility which has 5 subsea pipelines that are buried 26 meters under the seabed to allow for future dredging of the channel without interfering with the pipes. It is fitted with a liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) facility, crude oil and heavy fuel oil, and also has provision for handling 3 types of white oil products: DPK, aviation fuel, AGO, diesel, and PMS, petrol. The new terminal, which has a capacity to accommodate 4 ships concurrently with a capacity of 200,000 tons each, is being constructed by the China Communication Construction Company (CCCC). President Uhuru was accompanied by the China State Councilor and the Minister of Foreign Affairs Wang Yi during the inspection of the facility. Uhuru said the old Kipevu oil terminal, which was built in 1963, did not have the capacity to meet the demands of an increasing population and the growing economy of Kenya. With this new infrastructure, Kenya is going to save billions paid as demurrage, and those delays would be a thing of the past, the head of state said. OPEC Secretary General Mohammed Sanusi Bakindo yesterday visited the Al-Shahab Hall in the Bab al-Mu'atham district in Baghdad during his mission to Iraq. The historic hall underwent a complete renovation as part of the country's preparations to hold the celebration of OPEC's 60th anniversary. These efforts were headed by Iraqi's oil ministry. During the visit, the Secretary General stated, "As we prepare to celebrate this historic event, I want to use this opportunity to extend our deep gratitude to the government and heroic people of Iraq for preserving this historic monument, the Al-Shahab Hall in the Bab al-Mu'atham district, and wish them all the continued blessing of Allah and many years of peace, stability, growth, development, and prosperity. We in OPEC are very proud of the leadership of Iraq in our organization and international oil industry." Senior officials from Iraqi's oil ministry and a delegation from the OPEC Secretariat was also in attendance. The Al-Sha'ab Hall is the site of OPEC's founding. It hosted the first meeting of the conference in September 1960, which saw OPEC's founding members Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela come together to establish the organization. The meeting is known as the Baghdad Conference. The Secretary General will also hold bilateral meetings with His Excellency Mustafa Al-Kadhim, Prime Minister of Iraq, Hassan Abdul Jabbar Ismail, Minister of Oil, and other Iraqi leaders during the mission. Wakindo is also expected to visit the holy city of Karbala, where he will perform ziyarah at the resting place of Imam Hussein, the grandchild of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Total Energies EP Nigeria Limited has announced the appointment of Mr. Frederick Asasa as the Chief Financial Officer and member as the company's Corporate Executive Committee (EXCOM) with effect from January 1st, 2022. He succeeds Mrs. Tai Oshinsanya, who will retire from the company by the end of March 2022. Asasa brings to the position over 3 decades of extensive experience in finance. He joined Total Energies in 1999 as head of accounts and has since then held several senior positions within the company in Nigeria and at its headquarters in France. Until his appointment, Mr. Asasa was a financial controller responsible for group financial reporting activities of affiliates in the North Sea, Russia, and continental Europe at Total Energies EP headquarters in Paris, France. He has previously been seconded as finance controller at the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas (NLNG) Limited and more recently as general manager Deep Waters Assets Finance Total Energy EP Nigeria Limited. With a bachelor's degree in mathematics and an MBA, Mr. Asasa is a fellow Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria (FCA) and a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. Before we end the news, here is a recap of our headlines. President Buhari calls for transparency and accountability from the new NNPC board. Pengassin supports Wike's plan to stamp out illegal oil bunkering. OPEC Secretary General visits the historic Al-Shahab Hall in Baghdad. And that's the news. My name is Naomi Oleribe. Good evening.